Hey everyone, it's me, Smooches, aka Color Me Pink. Um, I am here today with another rant video. No, I will not be showing my face this time. Just getting over cold actually. But anyways, um, hopefully by the title of this video you kind of already know what this is about. But I'm kind of explaining to you what I'm going to be talking about in the beginning and my disclaimer to you guys who love to say people take video games too seriously. Whenever I'm talking about something going on in the community or whatever, it's never about the actual game unless I'm complaining about the game. It's always about me being an artist, me being a creative being or whatever, and not feeling, that my artwork is being respected. Because that's where it gets personal, not it being personal about video gaming. It gets personal about you being an artist and someone not respecting you as that. Anyways, so I'm gonna kind of go on and talk about how I've been feeling with the whole the Twitter community, the 2K, the WB community, whatever, everything in general. Talking about my role in the community, certain things I'm seeing changing, certain things that just it's gonna be a rant. It's gonna be me talking. Whatever comes out my mouth, it's gonna be that. So if you don't want to hear it, just leave now. If you're another one of those people, like I said, you just think this is just silly for me to even talk about because it's a video game. Leave now, whatever. Bye. So, anyways, um, lately, I've been feeling some type of way. I've been feeling some type of way towards the community, um, and towards my community, my little um world. The people I'm around, the people I talk to, whatever. Um, it's just gotten so far from what I am used to, or I guess, like I'm sitting here. I am 21 years old. I will be 22 in a few by next week or so, whatever. And I'm sitting here feeling old. Like, how are you 22 feeling old? I know it's crazy, but I'm feeling old because it's so different now. Me sitting here in this community of creative beings and artists or whatever, our little WB community. It's so different now. Um, it's like the same morals and respect that was once there when I was, really kind of involved on Xbox. It's it's gone. It's like people don't know how to be humbled. People don't know when time to, you know, really embrace one another or even know how to speak to one another anymore about whatever the situation is, or how to just come out and say, hey, you're an amazing person, you you're an amazing artist, whatever the case may be. I feel like things have changed, and all those things right there, they're gone. They don't People don't do them anymore. Like, I'm I've been having some issues lately when like I said, I'm just gonna be honest, when I've been getting online lately. I know I have taken my time away from Xbox. I'm sorry you guys, from Xbox and the community for a bit because I just have my own little things I want to do. I have just stuff I just, I do outside. So I haven't been involved as much. I know that or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like, and I guess it's just me, I feel like once you know, kind of establish yourself as a certain person with people, I feel like, it should never be a switch in a mood when that person is gone for a bit and then return. Like, and and it's just, I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but it's just how I'm feeling. It's just things are completely different just coming back online. I don't feel that same energy. I don't feel that same, you know, good feeling I had coming in a party. Like I used to come in a party with my friends and just couldn't wait for it. Like I used to come online and had like invites out the ass for me to come inside the party and stuff like that. Cause Xbox at the time was just that good. Like you wanted to get online and couldn't wait to, you know, have fun with your friends that you made on here. But it's not the same anymore. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I just think it's like just this generation that we're in now. Like, I don't know why I feel so separate from it. Like, I'm of the age, it's my generation, but it's like, fuck, it's like, I don't know if it's just us or what it is, but I don't like it. Um, it's, and I feel like it all stems from a lot of stuff that, you know, goes on Twitter now. Like, I feel like when I once, anyways, once I was in a party constantly or whatever, things were different. But nowadays, it's just so unpersonal and so dull and stuff. Like, I would come and there was nothing that we could not come up with what to do with each other when it came to Xbox and wrestling or whatever game it was. We always had creative mind because I surround myself with creative people. I mean, as an artist, and I feel we all do it. Of course, that's why we're all friends. But I feel like the people I selectively, you know, leached onto or like stayed with or you know kept near me, those are people I felt like we met like each other on the level of creativity, and we really worked with each other and we worked off of each other and stuff like that. But it's just different now. And like I said, I think it stems from Twitter. Twitter has become so much over the years. Like there was time when we were arguing about people having to fight for their creativity and having to defend, you know, their art. Nowadays, it's like slowly but surely we're slowly turning into what is, not what we can make it, but what is. And when I say that, it's like, you know, I feel like a few years back, I could look at certain things that I was involved with when it came to the community and didn't really feel like I could find it anywhere else, meaning like, you know, if I couldn't see this happening on TV or I couldn't see this happening, you know, with another set of people, whatever. But I was like, nowadays, everything's so obvious. And I don't know if you guys are getting me when I'm saying that, but it's like, I know this community is full of creative people. And I know these people, and they have done in the past, have come up with, you know, amazing new material that has wowed thousands of people. Even if there isn't a thousand of like people on Twitter or whatever, I just know there's a difference between now and then. And I know I'm just ranting on it. I'm not making any sense. But I guess it's just so much like I don't know. Like I said, I feel old. I guess I feel old because I feel like you know for an older person technically or whatever, they feel old when they see things changing and changing drastically around them, and they feel like they are like oh like they're like slowing. They've slowed down and they just like all this is happening so quickly, and I feel that way, and that's what's having me feel so. I feel like you know the creativity is lacking, the fight we once had to keep ourselves as individuals and as our own form of art, our own creation has gone out the window. I feel like now we need to fit into these molds now, which was so funny to me because we were just fighting people about that, fighting that people wanted us to be a certain way and be this certain thing and be this certain image. And nowadays, I feel like people just kind of like fall into that. But that's just one of the issues, I guess. And I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Anyways, another thing that's been bothering me is I feel like people don't know. Like people are so unaware of where certain things come from and how certain things have blossom into what they are now. So basically what I'm talking about is this community and myself and how I feel like, and this is not me trying to be cocky or an asshole, because I'm really not trying to do that. I'm not. And I'm really trying to almost prevent that from this video. But I'm needing you to, I guess, explain this to you guys where you guys can kind of get me. And I hope I make some type of sense to someone. Earlier today, you know, never know what's going to go happen today. I just wake up and things happen. How they go. And I don't know, for some reason I was in a Lil Kim mode. You know, I love my girl. Kim. Yes. Love her. Um, and anybody that knows me knows that, when it comes to my creation of Karma Sutra, a lot of my influences comes from Kim and comes from different female rappers or different, you know, Karma Sutra is made out to be this strong black woman who isn't afraid to express and even push the boundaries of her femininity and her sexuality and stuff like that. And she brings that to wherever she's involved with. She just happened to be involved in wrestling. So for y'all who don't like her or like that about her, I don't care. That's my basic reason for her being who she is. But anyways, so I've been watching videos all day, performances and interviews and well, Lil Kim. And a lot of you guys nowadays only know Lil Kim for her involvement with Nicki Minaj and their little beef and whatnot, and this being said about this being taken and this being stole from her style or whatever. And all of it is true. I mean, I'm just gonna make some of y'all upset, whatever it is. And this is coming from someone who loves both artists, Nicki and Kim or whatever. But anyways, I was been watching her videos, and if you took the time out to watch some of the videos, you would see where these accusations are true. But anyways, I was watching some of her videos from when she had her reality television show about her being incarcerated or locked up behind her not telling the complete truth about a shootout that involved the mafia and all that stuff, and they kind of, told on her, told that she wasn't being true and she ended up getting locked up for or whatever. And it was interesting to kind of go back and watch some of this stuff because you don't know a person until you really kind of try to get to know a person. And I was paying attention because I watched Nicki Minaj's interviews and I watched Little Kim's interviews, and you can see the difference. And now this goes back to what I believe I was talking about earlier about being humble and things like that. I feel like when I was sitting there watching different videos about Kim and her interviews of different people, today's artists compared to artists such as Lil Kim in her time in the 90s and around that era, whatever, they understood that this gift of being, this musical artist, it was given to you. It was a gift, exactly that. So whenever you are giving a gift, you need to show some type of thanks. I believe. I feel like anybody, that's just a natural human being reaction to giving a gift. Like if I give you a gift of $5,000, bitch, you better be happy. Like something, show me that you having this means something to you. That this is something that you value. So that's the whole idea of being humble. You know, Kim and different artists like that, being rappers, singers, dancers, whatever, entertainers and stuff like that, that's a gift that not everybody has the courage or the strength to do and actually, be successful in, or even have the gift to be able to do. Like I can't rap, man, he knows how to rap or whatever, but I can't do it. It's a wonderful gift that he was given. I can't do it, but he's humble about it. He doesn't think he's just this God gift to earth, which he is, but he doesn't make people feel shitty about him being that and them not being that, if that makes sense. And I was watching interviews and stuff like that, and just seeing how Kim, she's so humble. She, as much y'all don't like her and y'all talk about her plastic surgery and whatever, and then we all know the story of that, and you know, shit happens, But at the end of the day, I feel like so many negative things that people have to say about her, they really shouldn't or don't. They, it's anyways, it's crazy, and I'm not even going to sit up here because it's not about her, but it's just I was taking that and referring it back to myself because here's my example. Those who have known me, I when it comes to WB, I love the game for the creation mode itself. It allows me to go in there and do whatever I possibly can with the game, but also expanding on it with my own creative ideas and stuff like that. And over the years, I've done that. Okay, over the years, getting into different stuff. I believe back in 2009 is when I first started using Paint Tool, and most of my friends and people know me for that. I've been getting contact, and they know me for being someone who is pretty good in Paint Tool or whatever. And I started back in '09. And I'm telling you, from '09 to now, it's a complete difference. Um, we no longer have Paint Tool. It's a whole new setup we have here now, which I'm slowly kind of getting used to and getting into or whatever. But most people know me for Paint Tool. They know whatever. And I started back in '09. Okay. Um, Me and my little come up, I wasn't the best thing at first. I think the first thing I made was glitter. And I don't know, y'all remember glitter or whatever. It was a very basic, simple thing, especially on '09, because the paint tool effect that it had on the car was completely different. I don't know what it was, but something about if you had white and it was very small, it would make this glistening or a shiny effect on that game. So it was very easy to make glitter. And once I figured out any little color, pink, blue, white dot, white dot, white dot, white dot, and I would have people at that point come up to me and like, "Oh, how did you do that?" and whatever. And to them, it was amazing. To me, it was like, "What?" And I would find myself going around, and if they asked me, I taught them how I did it. As simple as it was, but I taught them how I did it. And I moved on to fishnet. I moved on to making different parts of an outfit. I moved on to, making full on face textures, drawing out body textures, drawing hair, drawing lips, eyebrows, anything. If I thought of it and I found a way to do it, I did it. And so, over the years, me finding my gift in paint or whatever the case may be, um, I had friends who wanted to learn. I went ahead, taught whoever wanted to learn. If you asked me, I would teach you. I literally asked my friends, I would sit down in the party with people and give them formulas, like, you know, yell it out to them, not yell it out, but, talk to them in the party. Like when it came to, I gave out broad tutorials to like two people at a time. and showing them how I drew out my bras or how I made this and such like that. So over the years, of course, I got better and I latched on to different little tricks and little stuff like that that I learned while I was learning Paint Tool. And, you know, I naturally never, thought of, I should actually, kind of like put this out there. Like, I managed to come up with some pretty hot stuff that people like. Why don't I just go on YouTube and upload it? Didn't have the tools and ability to do that, so I went on for years just kind of giving out my little tricks and tips and stuff to people and left to right or whatever, which was fine. They were friends, and I didn't mind helping people. Like, girl, if I look good, you're gonna look good too, or whatever, and not even saying it like that, but you know what I mean. So, but it dawned on me once I actually got involved with trying to make something out of it, like trying to let people see the person behind the work, actually brand myself as an artist and stuff like that. I'm already an artist outside of work, but once I realized it's something that can actually be happening on like YouTube, and you know, I started thinking about that. Um, Referring myself to different other YouTubers and artists and stuff like that on in our community. One of the big names I have to say for me would be Nick Virtue, and I know y'all love to try to discredit people, but that boy is very creative. You know, I remember watching him for years or whatever. It was right about the same time I really got into like stuff like that. I think whatever year it was when they took away our our skin is when I think I found out about him, because then I saw him and he had a whole different skin tone from what they were giving us on the game. I was like, what the fuck? What is he doing? I found out he was using paint tool or whatever. That's who I got the idea from. I've always told people that I will never ever take credit for the idea of paint tool skin. Never. That's who I got it from. But I know for a fact once it got into drawing faces and drawing body textures and stuff like that, I can say that was something I created. I didn't know, let me be honest, I don't know any other bitch. I don't know any other bitch that has done it, but from what I know, that was me. That was all me. And over the years, I tried helping people. I tried giving my tips. Over the years, I saw people, really latching on to it, getting to, know it or whatever. So I thought it was cool. Um, it was great, whatever. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So yeah, one of the big name YouTubers was Nick Virtue. I looked up to him when it came to being a known, an established call creator in the community that we are in now. Um, I like really enjoyed this boy stuff. So once I decided wanted to brand myself as Smooches, I kept using the gamer tag. I I tried getting my stuff out there. I was able to get a few videos and stuff up and things like that due to like my friends who had recorders and stuff like that, because I bet you didn't have one. And even if I had one, which I did try to get one, still wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. So that's why, luckily, God bless certain people with the ability to record and edit and whatever, and He blessed them in my life to be able to work with them. They need help on something, I help them, they help me. That's how life works. We're here to help and serve each other. But yeah, I really wanted to go ahead and actually get off the ground and go somewhere with it. I saw people enjoyed it, so let me do something with it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do all my many great ideas with putting out different tutorials and stuff like that. It was just always with what I like to say, underground work. And this is to go back to the whole Little Kim thing. Like, if you think about it, we all kind of represent our cause as actual celebrities and stuff like that, which makes sense because you think of actual wrestlers, they're kind of put in the whole celebrity spotlight. So, of course, us fulfilling the idea of having a call an actual wrestler, we have, of course, have to like kind of treat them as a celebrity. So, of course, that's what I kind of think of. So you think of celebrities such as like certain certain artists, music artists, actors, whatever. So I always refer myself back to that. So like I was saying, whenever I think of myself, I like to think of myself as an underground artist, or whatever the case may be, and that is basically someone who is kind of more in parties instead of being someone on YouTube or someone you constantly seeing on social media. Um, a lot of my shit stayed within parties and between parties and stuff like that. If someone needed help, like if someone needed help, I had no problem helping them. Like I can tell you right now, from 2000 and yeah, since 2009, I've been helping people, but I'm telling you, my biggest influence on the community was all 14 last year. Like when I tell you, you don't know half of the stuff I had a hand in when it comes to the community. Like I had to help over like 20 different people with their cause. Then that's a lot in this community. Like 20 people out of the little Twitter. I mean, that's a lot. So which was great. I had no problem with it. But it's getting back to like I'm saying, this new generation of not being humbled or not really giving the same respect. It's crazy because I know to this day, I will, if I feel like it needs to come up, I will always give respect to those who I watched. Nick Virtue, when it comes to being a great call creator and things like that. Brown Sugar Candy, um, D. Thompson, Don Queef, those different artists I, watched growing up in this community. But I've been here since I was like, what, 15? So. Um, but nowadays, I just don't feel like the people have the same respect, they don't have the same humbleness, and they don't understand. And they don't, and that's, I can't get mad because this is a new group, a new generation. Like there's so many new people popping up around the corner. It's crazy. And they don't know what went on before them. But if you did know, you would know. I would like to think I had a big hand in it. And this may upset some people, which it's not supposed to. It's literally just me getting certain things off my chest. And I'm not attacking anyone. And I'm not discrediting anyone for what they're doing. And I'm not, whatever. I'm just telling my story and my point of view of everything. So this is all it is. And it's going to be a long ass motherfucking video because I am nowhere near done. So if you are done with hearing me talk, just go now. But yeah, I you know, help so many different people. Let it be attires, let it be face textures, body textures, face morphing, um, gimmick ideas, story ideas. Um, there's so many different things. And don't get me wrong, these people there are people who are very grateful and they do still come to me and they do still, you know, um, you know, show me love and stuff like that. But there are certain um things I feel like as of lately that's all left. It's almost like nowadays it's like it's almost like the industry world, like the music industry. Because you think of it like this: when a motherfucker like such as a big name artist, when they are in the main light and everybody sees them, like um you can't help but know more about that person than you know about this underground artist, such as, let's think of who's the underground artist that I know? We ain't even gonna get into all that. But y'all get me. Like when you're in mainstream spotlight, it shines a light on you. And you're constantly there. Of course, you're going to be seen, and you are what people see every day. So you are what people know. But the underground artists, those are people who are doing work that you don't always see and stuff like that. So, like I said, I kind of think of myself as someone who was once underground. I'm just now kind of like really trying to brand Karma Sutra and the sisters, and we're all trying to do that together. But it was a difference. People just had a different respect for one another, and I like to say one another because I know how to give people respect. I'm sorry, like I will till this day if I see you're doing a really good job, I will try my best to make it known that I respect you. I enjoy your work. I'm not someone who's on Twitter every single day, so I apologize. But when I get around to it, I will most definitely let you know. But okay, so anyways, going on. Like I said, I had a very big influence on 14 and such and whatnot. Now, I told myself before 14 was completely kind of like done with and the servers are cut off and we were no longer recording for CTO and whatnot, I told myself, bitch, don't do yourself in this year. Because I feel like at that point, I had gotten so much accomplished for Karma Sutra that like when it comes to my different tricks and tips and all that stuff with the paint tool or whatever, I got so much accomplished with her, but not a lot of it was seen. Like I feel like I should have been recording entrances and matches and NVs and interviews and promos out the ass because I most definitely could have done it. I just never got around to doing it last year because it was what just never did it. So I told myself 16 was going to be different. But of course, come around 16, shit did not go for me. My boyfriend's computer went out on him. Um and it took us forever to figure out either to buy a new computer or just get this one repaired. And we finally got it done. And even then, I did not do what I said I was gonna do. I was supposed to constantly put up different videos of me creating Karma Sutra. I almost wanted a start from finish. So anytime I updated Karma Sutra, I wanted to upload a video of me doing that process of updating her. Because I told myself I was no longer going to just give out all my ideas and my tips and my tricks like that and just give them away for people to take and not really, get my sign off on it. I mean, like, it's a natural thing to want to be recognized for the work and the time that you put into something. So that's a natural thing to want to be recognized for stuff like that. So I don't care what no one has to say about that. Um, but I still didn't do it this year, and that has me to go into this next situation. Um, I've been noticing some of you don't know. Okay. Um, I have a online son. For you to, who are confused by that, I have an online son, like a play son. Um, I'm a gay man or whatever, and in the gay community, it's a little like tradition, or for some people to kind of have build themselves like a gay family or whatever. Because a lot of gay people they are not close to their families because, of course, with their sexual orientation, a lot of times that puts a brings problems to their family sometimes because certain families don't know how to approach the situation or accept it and whatever. So it's been a regular thing to kind of have um, gay friends kind of come together as a family or whatever. So like in like these families, you have like certain people who are mothers, certain people who are fathers, certain people who are like children, and da 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 da. I low key have one. Like my friend Black Widow is like my sister. My boyfriend, of course, that's my husband, whatever. Um, my friend, Rocky Me Out is like brother or brother slash brother slash sister. I don't know what she on anymore. I mean, what he's on anymore. But anyways, so we've been a kind of family, and I have a son. His name on Xbox. Ooh, this child didn't change his name so many times. Um, that toxic boy, and then he also he went ahead and named himself Boy Got Cakes. Boy Got Cakes. Anyone that knows me that used to be like an old gamer tag of mine, but I just thought it was so cute that he wanted to do that. But that's my son. His character is Kiana Suva. Child, don't get mad at me if I did not pronounce that name right. I'm sorry, but that is my son. And this come time this year, I was really trying to be like a mentor to him. I've always tried to work with different artists or whatever. And I told him whenever he needed help, if he needed any advice, any tips, tricks on how to do certain things on this game, whatever, come to me. That's what I'm here for. And he's grown so much since 14. I don't know if y'all follow him, but he's an amazing artist, creator. Y'all need to fuck with him. But come 16, he was so discouraged because he knew there were certain things that we were lacking when it comes to body morph and things like that or whatever. And I told him, you know what, we need to be happy because this is a whole new generation of a whole new gen. It's a whole new canvas for us to express ourselves on. We got all these material selection, we have import logos and all these different things. So, you know, get ready for a whole new set of fun. I was trying to explain to him. But he was real discouraged. He wasn't quite sure what if he was even going to be able to make Kiana because, you know, there's no buzz cuts, there's no shorter hair beyond the shorter cut that you see, in the game, that little slick back thing or whatever they had. Um, but I told him, don't worry, we're gonna figure something out. He always told me that for Kiana, he wanted this Rihanna cut, and I'm not quite sure if you guys remember, but during her her rated R album, whatever, she had the shade five or whatever, and had the mohawk kind of slicked in the back or whatever. He wanted that. So I told him, I said, "Oh boy, I already see something that could possibly be that." I already knew that we were going to get in here with the hair dye, and I was already coming with different ideas I want to do with the actual tool before even knowing how it actually worked. But that was one of it. When he told me that, it already clicked in my head to just go ahead, take your similar skin color and apply it to the sides of your head. And if you did it correctly, if you did it with patience and time, you could get this to look like it had shaved sides. I went ahead and did that. I had to have made that girl, I believe, about the third day or fourth day that I had the game. I made that girl's hair for him. Yeah, I made that girl's hair. It was just sitting up there. I told him, once you get the game and whatever, I'll already have the model with the hairstyle on there. I'll just give you Kiana and then you go do the rest of Kiana. I just knew he needed me to do the hair for him because, I mean, I already had an idea. He didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but. And all I did was I did our typical, and one of the little tips I used to give people was blending. And that's basically you starting with a certain color and working your way back from a darker or a lighter color. And that works perfectly on like if you're trying to make a leather effect or whatever. I used to show people that tons of times for 14 and all those different things. So I knew that was just something I needed to apply to hair, anyways. And you're supposed to do that anyways. For you girls that did not know, you need to blend when you're having ombre hair or whatever. If you know how to blend on paint tool, take that same method to your hair. If you have black roots and another color here, you need to start from a darker color of the color that you have for your ombre. Like if you have a pink, right? But your roots are black, you need to figure out how you can have this black slowly fade into this pink because no one hair is just, and I'm not saying it in a rude way, I'm just saying, that it's the truth. Um, the best way to do that is blending. You have a pink, okay, take that pink, get it close enough to black where it will not, throw people off from the black that you have from your roots. Start with that color and slowly but surely lighten it, meaning going upwards, going more towards the actual color, there's different stuff like that. So I explained to him that's probably what I'm going to have to do to get your shave size. That's what I did. I took his skin color, I got a color nearest to his skin color, I darken it a bit because when you have shaved sides or whatever and you look at the pictures, it's a fade look. You know what I mean? You start at the actual color, which he at the time had like a pink thing going, a little, what was it, like a cotton candy pink thing. I started from the pink, the hair that I did not want to touch, and I started with this dark brown and slowly but surely faded into a color that was near his skin color, which made it like shaved sides. Excuse me. Um, he was so excited. My little baby was so excited. He finally got the hair he wanted and whatever. Then we sort of, from there, he had his call and whatever, and this and that. And this goes back to I wish I had documented that because I know for a fact that's another thing. A lot of people, and I'm not going to say a lot of people have always wanted that hair. You know what I mean? He's not the only person in the world who liked that hair. I get that. But I wish I had just documented that because I know for a fact that technique right there has already taken off. I've seen so many people use it or whatever. Um, and it was a little discouraging for him to kind of start seeing other people finally kind of, picking up on the trick of getting the shave sides or whatever. He started, y'all even started getting into arguments and stuff like that. And I'm still, guiding him and kind of letting him know, you just gotta like be more. Anyways, we're not gonna go into that. That's some other personal stuff. I ain't gonna go in here and talk about that in the video. But that's basically my own kind of issue. I feel like it's already kind of picked up on, and this is not point out anybody. I just feel like I wish I would have had made that known that that was an idea I came up with. I don't know anyone else that may have came up with it, but I feel like that was something I came up with. I mean, just from the time frame for me to have already have had that in my head and to have done it about like 3 days after having the game and it not even had been shown yet because I have had that hair done for her for several days now. And the moment that she went ahead and finally got his call finished and uploaded, that's when I started seeing people, pick up on the trick, and it got him into an argument with another friend of mine or whatever, and they went back and forth and talking about where they got the idea from and such and da da da. Um, there's no actual way of saying where the idea came from exactly. I, as the person who did it first, I do feel like it was found off of my child's character, but I mean at the day I can't get upset because I know I mean, if someone else had found it before me, I would still want to try to use it because I mean, everybody loves that like Cassie Shay sides. It's edgy, it's cute, it's something different. And everybody's been wanting it for years. We finally get something this year where we're able to have different variety of hair. And I guess that's what got to my child at the time, is that he tries so hard, and that's something I try to push him to do, because you want to be an individual, you want your own name to be represented for what you do and your own creativity. So I guess when he saw that, he got upset. But going back into the whole humbleness and how people used to be and how people used to react to stuff, I don't quite care for how that situation was um, dealt with, because it turned into arguments, and it turned into, just a little like disconnection from, you know, people being nice to each other. And, because this is supposed to be a community. We're supposed to try to come together, and this is something we all enjoy and whatever. But it's just a big difference, and I guess I'm having an issue with how things work nowadays, and it just don't work like they used to be. Like, I feel like that situation would have been handled, dealt with differently. And I guess I go back to, like, I should have done better at documenting some stuff, you know, because my other problem with it is because when I feel like I had some type of influence on certain things that are going on, um, and to kind of like turn around and have certain people disrespect me, or belittle me, or stuff like that, but then to look at them and see myself or my ideas and my stuff being used by them, but them not even know that, you know bitch, I'm the reason why you're wearing those golden trims and those fucking this and that and that. And it's upsetting, because it goes back to that idea, like I said, with Little Kim. Because for those of you who don't know of her and know her, I feel like it's unfair for you to make a judgment off of what's going on with her, between her and Nicki Minaj, or whatever is going on with her now, because you don't know what she's done for this. Because if you think about it, for all you little Nicki Minaj fans and whatnot, um, that's someone who, had they not done, had they not made that statement of being this sexy, this sexy but still powerful woman. Because at the end of the day, once again, she is still very powerful, and she needs to be respected at the same time, because she is responsible for a lot of things that are going on nowadays. Like, at the time, if you even would care enough to go back, there weren't very many women in the rap industry who had that sex symbol image, until Little Kim kind of came in and it really brought it out. At the time, a lot of women at that time, they felt like they needed to almost be one of the guys, and kind of still really put on this really like hard um persona, just to make it in a world full of men, because the rap industry and many industries are filled and dominated by men. So being a woman there, you have to, if you don't match up to that or better, you're off the bat weak. But like I said before, then they were really one of the guys. Kim kind of came in, brought that sexiness, that brought back that femininity to it, which both still giving you the same hardness to it, but in a way that women could relate to it. And that's why I feel like there needs to be a lot more understanding of history with stuff, and there needs to be a lot more, um, just respect there for certain people, um, and that goes for any situation that may be related to such a situation like this. Like I said, you coming in, you kind of providing a a um a community of people to kind of blossom from, and then to kind of turn around and have that same person that you influence kind of disrespect you, or almost kind of like, you know, belittle you. It's upsetting. It's not right or whatever. Um, y'all gonna still deny me because y'all diehard fans, and that's what people do. Y'all wouldn't be fans if you didn't disagree with me about Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj or whatever. But that was just my reference back to it. Like I said, I was watching her videos, and and a lot of people have always said this, like, um, I felt a relation between Kama Sutra and Nicki Minaj when it came, not Nicki Minaj, Kama Sutra and Little Kim when it comes to that situation, because it is almost something I feel like I opened up. Because when I was first doing all of this, everything that you see now going on, when I was first doing this, people were rude as fuck. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on at that time and generation, but bitches were still very rude. Even though I was just saying people were humble and a lot more nice, there were those rude bitches. But those are people I wasn't fucking with. The people I was fucking with, they were very nice, humble, whatever. But they're rude. No one wanted to see no thick black girl up on the damn YouTube and stuff like that. No one wanted. I was trying to join a fucking league devoted to divas, and they wouldn't accept my diva because at the time I was thick, black, and very risque with my attires. Those who know me, and you can slowly see how I slowly changed out of that. I'm coming to a little bit more business-y, but it's still kind of sex symbolish kind of going on in there. Um, it's a big it's a long story I could even go on to tell you, because even with the little groups that you see on Twitter, like the okay, and this, like I said, once again, if I do mention people's names and stuff like that, it is not a me coming at you in any foul way. If you feel offended, if you feel upset, know that this is not me coming at you in any type of way. It's me coming for myself. I don't hate anyone. I love anybody who loves me, but I'm just stating what I know to be and just expressing how I'm feeling. But if you knew me, and those of you who have been with me from the very start to finish, I want you to just really think about what I'm saying and just look very closely at the community and tell me that, you know, you don't see a little bit of Karma Sutra in a few of these girls. Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. The bad thing is when you don't, it's a bad thing when it's not respected, I guess. That's when it's disrespected, because what I'm going from is like, I will have people, I look at it and I can point it out where I can see an influence from my car, and how they may have found inspiration from another person, but that person somehow, I was telling this to my boyfriend earlier. I literally gave him name from name to name, and it literally came back to me, and it's crazy. Like the groups that you see now, that little cliques you have, those little rich girls or whatever that hang out with one another. You have your more urban black girls who hang out with one another, and you have your more like technical more girls, and they're broken up into little groups or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, I can see different areas of where I was influenced because each group holds a person that I was either um once friends with, have been in parties with, have helped, and they've gone on to branch out and have people branch from them, and so on and so on. And we all know this happens. This happens everywhere. This happens in the music industry. This happens to anything that has art, because art is always changing. The same way with fashion, it's always changing. There's always something new. There's always something reoccurring or whatever. I understand that, but my only problem is respect the history. And it's so funny because once again, like I said, all most people can think about is it being a video game. But literally, like I'm telling you, take away WWE 16. If that little label wasn't there and I was still going on creating stuff and providing people with my ideas and tips and ideas and stuff like that, that would literally still be worth something. It's an art. It is something I put time into, and it's something I'm noticing. I don't feel the same. Like I I was asking myself why I'm still even here. I mean, I know why I'm still here because there's people I love and I can't. Like, this is how I keep in contact with them. I love them to death. Um, but I see there's a big difference, and I don't know. I don't know where it just changed, where it happened, but I don't know. But that's just me talking. I don't know if I made any lick of sense to any of y'all. If y'all even listen to this long ass video, because this shit is saying 57 minutes, I believe. I don't know what the fuck it's saying, but it's a long ass time. So if y'all made it through the whole video, thank you so much for listening. Once again, because I do not want this to become I really don't want this to become anything negative on Twitter. I want you guys to please listen. Don't listen to respond, listen to understand what I mean. And this is really stemming back from when you have a gift and you have done something, still know how to be humble and still know how to recognize where it's time to, you know, pay respects, give people, let people know when they're doing something good. That's what respect is, and showing someone that you value them. That's not a bad thing. I think people get certain things mixed up with people wanting someone to bow down to them. I don't want nobody to bow down. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm better or anything than them or whatever. I'm just saying I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my artwork, and I want it to be respected. And I would like for those who know my artwork and they know that they get something from it, just respect me. I respect you, you know. But that's just my little rant. Um, I don't even know if I covered everything I wanted to talk about. But I need to hurry up and end this video because had I seen how long this video is, I probably wouldn't even watch it myself. But anyways, talk to y'all later. Bye.